feeling a little salty today. I want to talk a little bit about how and why we attract narcissists. Or not even necessarily narcissists, but the same low vibe people in our lives, or relive the same traumas. So, salt and sugar, right? Are they really that much different? So, when you have salt and sugar present in front of you, look at that glow on there. I don't know what's going on. They look the same, right? What is this one? Can you guys tell what this one is? Does it look any different than this one? This one is the sugar, right? You taste it, you're gonna know the difference. But a lot of times it can take months, years before we start tasting that salt. Because in the beginning, they look the same. So true love and healthy relationship looks the same as love bombing, right? And false truth, false reality. So when we first meet somebody, these two things can look the same: a healthy relationship and a love bombing trauma bond. The problem is, because they're so similar in the beginning, it's really hard to differentiate until a lot of time has passed and then the true personalities start to come out of that person. And this is deeper than just people not getting along. Okay, what I'm talking about here, I'm talking about the extreme pain. When you put salt into a wound, what happens? It stings, and that sting can be there for a long time, right? But when you're given sugar, when you are hurt, it distracts from the pain. It takes the pain away. How many of you have kids that get hurt on a regular basis? Let me put a Band-Aid on it, right? Doesn't matter if it's a bruise, doesn't matter if there's nothing there. You get that Band-Aid out and it's magic, right? Let me kiss your boo-boo. That kiss just magically takes everything away and they're miraculously fine. Somebody who is dismissive, suck it up. It's gonna hurt their little feelings. They're probably gonna be worse. Ignorance, stuff like that, it's gonna lead them to not wanna tell you when something's wrong or something's hurt, and it can cause trauma, right? Same thing happens in a relationship. When you are hurting emotionally, when you are hurting physically, and you have that person who comforts you, right? Who brings you that ice pack, who takes you to the hospital, who sits by your side, who listens to your feelings and validates them. It's very self-fulfilling. It fills you up with love and it makes you want to give that back. Somebody who pours salt on it and doesn't want to be present through the healing, tells you you're too emotional, is on the other spectrum. It ends up filling you with pain and trauma. But we have to be mindful that even though it might be different than that abuse, it can still be traumatic and it can still affect our relationships going forward. Communication is key if you are in relationships, whether past or present. Maybe reflect and take the time to verbally forgive yourself for putting yourself in that situation and not honoring yourself during that time. And this sounds terrible, doesn't it? The first time I heard this, I'm like, why should I forgive myself for being verbally assaulted? Because we put guilt on ourselves. We put shame on ourselves. Forgive yourself for that part of you, because guess what? It led you to this empowering moment in your life. It led you to where you are now. Embrace that part and forgive that person. You don't have to forget about it, and it does not make what they did to you right. And I've been through everything from physical assault to emotional assault, the whole gamut. It is very tough to work through those things and forgive that person. That person was hurt as a child. That person was hurt in a past relationship. So my way of mentally dealing with it is they are full of that salt. They are filled to the brim with that salt. Yes, they need to take accountability for being grown, but I'm not going to continue to hold that in my heart and let it affect me. I'm not going to hold that salt in there. So I release it. I forgive them based on the influences that were handed to them in their life that made them a narcissist. Feel remorse and sorrow for what they're going through, but I'm not gonna let it have hold on me anymore. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting what they did or making it right somehow. Not at all. Not at all what I'm saying. But forgiving is letting go and enabling the healing to happen. Okay, it's turning that salt into sugar. It's embracing the fact that you went through all of that sour, bitter shit in your life to now be filled with that honey, to be filled with that sugar, that sweetness, that self-love, and to be able to emulate and give that to the world. So today, I want you guys to reflect. If you're feeling salty, okay, reach out and forgive somebody, or forgive yourself for putting yourself in that situation, because it's led to something positive. Those negatives in our life do lead to positivities, but sometimes it takes being mindful and transitioning that shift from salty to sweet. If this resonated, drop a like. If you would like to share your story, go ahead and comment below. There will be much more sweet and salty things in the